Welcome! Today we're going to pull back the curtain on the incredible chemical symphony that powers, well, everything alive. From the tiniest microbe all the way to, us.
All right, here's the game plan. We're going to kick things off with the big picture, what metabolism even is. Then we'll look at its two sides, building up and breaking down. After that, we'll meet the tiny little helpers, enzymes, that make it all possible. We'll figure out how they work, and then wrap things up by looking at some pretty cool ways they show up in our everyday lives. Sound good? All right, let's dive right in.
Well, the answer to that, it's all about this nonstop, super powerful process that's going on right now inside every single one of your cells.
What we're talking about is metabolism. And really, it's just the sum of all the chemical reactions that keep you alive. And I mean all of them. It's happening 24/7, every single second, whether you're out running a marathon or totally fast asleep.
So, here's the thing. Metabolism isn't just one single process. It's more like a balancing act, between two totally opposite forces that are actually working together. Let's take a look at how that plays out. Okay, so on one side, you've got catabolism. I want you to think of this as the demolition crew. Its job is to break down big, complex things, like that sandwich you had for lunch, into smaller, simpler pieces. And when it does that, it releases a bunch of energy. Then you've got the other side, anabolism. This is the construction crew. It takes that energy and those simple pieces and uses them to build new, complex stuff, like muscle tissue or repairing cells.
And this image, this just lays it out perfectly. On the left, you see catabolism. That's the breakdown, right? A big molecule getting split into smaller bits. And on the right, you've got anabolism, doing the complete opposite, taking those little bits and building something bigger. One gives you energy, the other one costs you energy. Simple as that.
Okay, so here's the catch. We're talking about thousands of these reactions happening all the time. For us to, live, they have to happen super fast and super efficiently. So how does the body pull that off? Well, that's where these amazing little microscopic helpers come in.
We're talking about enzymes. And you can think of them as these tiny biological machines made of protein. Honestly, they're what make life possible. Without enzymes, a simple thing like digesting your food could take, 50 years. No joke. Enzymes get that job done in a matter of hours or even seconds. Okay, now this is cool. This shows you an enzyme's superpower. See that big hill? That represents the activation energy. It's basically the amount of energy you need to kickstart a reaction. It's a tough climb. But look what the enzyme does. It basically carves a tunnel through the hill. It lowers that energy barrier, so the reaction can happen way, way easier and a whole lot faster.
So, you might be wondering, how are they so precise? How does one enzyme know to only work on this reaction and not that one over there? Well, the best way to understand it is with a really simple but brilliant analogy. It's called the lock and key model. The idea is that every enzyme is like a lock, and it's got this very specifically shaped little groove on it called the active site. And the molecule it works on, which we call the substrate, is the key. And just like with a real lock and key, only one specific key can fit into that lock. So, let's watch this in action. It all happens in 3 simple steps. Okay, step 1. The substrate, that's our key. And in this example, it's a sugar called maltose. It just floats on over to the enzyme's active site, the lock. And you can see it's a perfect match. The shapes just fit together. Step 2, they connect. They bind together and form what's called an enzyme-substrate complex. It's just a temporary thing, but this is the crucial moment. This is where the magic happens. The enzyme grabs onto the substrate and holds it in the perfect position to get the chemical reaction started. And finally, step 3. The reaction happens. The substrate gets converted into something new. In this case, our maltose key has been broken into 2 smaller glucose molecules. Now these new products don't fit in the lock anymore, so they're released. And get this, the enzyme is totally unchanged. It's good as new and ready to go to work on the next substrate molecule that comes along. It's like the ultimate reusable tool.
Okay, so this isn't just some stuff you have to memorize for a biology test. I promise. These powerful little protein machines are literally all around us. We've figured out how to use them in all sorts of industries and even right in our own homes.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing when you stop and think about it. We're using them in everything from laundry detergents that get out those impossible stains, to making cheese, to producing lactose-free milk. We've learned to put these little guys to work to make our lives a whole lot easier. Let's take a common one. Ever had to deal with a really nasty grass stain or a blood stain on a shirt? The secret weapon in those stain removers is,
You guessed it, enzymes. They use specific ones called proteases that are designed to just chew up the proteins in those stains that plain old soap and water can't touch.
And it's not just for laundry. That exact same type of enzyme, protease, is also what's used in meat tenderizer. It does the same job. It breaks down the tough protein fibers in the meat, making it way more tender and easier to chew. And that's why this stuff matters, right? Understanding this fundamental biology opens the door to all these incredible practical uses.
So there you have it. From the most basic reactions happening inside your cells right now, to cleaning your clothes and making your dinner, enzymes are absolutely everywhere. They are nature's own highly efficient, super specific little engineers. Which really makes you wonder, right? What's the next big problem we can unlock with them?